Ezra chapter 9. Now when these things had been completed, the leaders approached me and said, "The people of Israel, the priests and the Levites, have not separated themselves from the local residents who practice detestable things similar to those of the Canaanites, the Hittites and the Perizzites, the Jebusites and the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. Indeed, they have taken some of their daughters as wives for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy race has become intermingled with the local residents. Worse still, the leaders and the officials have been at the forefront of all of this. When I heard this report, I tore my tunic and my robe and ripped out some of the hair from my head and beard. Then I sat down, quite devastated. Everyone who held the words of God of Israel in awe gathered around me because of the unfaithful acts of the people of the exile. Devastated, I continued to sit there until the evening offering. At that time of the evening offering, I got up from my self-abasement with my tunic and robe torn, and then dropped to my knees and spread my hands to the Lord my God. I prayed, "Oh my God, I am ashamed and embarrassed to lift my face to you, my God. For our iniquities have climbed higher than our heads, and our guilt extends to the heavens. From the days of our fathers until this very day, our guilt has been great. Because of our iniquities, we, along with our kings and priests, have been delivered over by the local kings to sword, captivity, plunder, and embarrassment, right up to the present time. But now, briefly, we have received mercy from the Lord our God, in that he has left us a remnant and has given us a secure position in his holy place. Thus our God has enlightened our eyes and has given us a little relief in our time of servitude. Although we are slaves, our God has not abandoned us in our servitude. He has extended kindness to us in the sight of the kings of Persia, in that he has revived us to restore the temple of our God and to raise up its ruins and to give us a protective wall in Judah and Jerusalem. And now, what are we able to say after this, our God? For we have forsaken your commandments, which you commanded us through your servants the prophets, with these words: the land that you are entering to possess is a land defiled by the impurities of the local residents. With their abominations they have filled it, with one end to the other with their filthiness. Therefore, do not give your daughters in marriage to their sons, and do not take their daughters in marriage for your sons. Do not ever seek their peace or welfare, so that you may be strong and may eat the good of the land and may leave it as an inheritance for your children forever. Everything that has happened to us has come about because of our wicked actions and our great guilt. Even so, our God, you have exercised restraint toward our iniquities and have given us a remnant such as this. Shall we once again break your commandments and intermarry with these abominable peoples? Would you not be so angered by us that you would wipe us out with no survivor or remnant? O Lord God of Israel, you are righteous, for we are left as a remnant this day. Indeed, we stand before you in our guilt. However, because of this guilt, no one can really stand before you." Chapter 10. While Ezra was praying and confessing, weeping and throwing himself to the ground before the temple of God, a very large crowd of Israelites, men, women, and children alike, gathered around him. The people wept loudly. Then Shechaniah, son of Jehiel, from the descendants of Elam, addressed Ezra. "We have been unfaithful to our God by marrying foreign women from the local peoples. Nonetheless, there is still hope for Israel in this regard. Therefore, let us enact a covenant with our God to send away all these women and their offspring, in keeping with your counsel, my Lord, and that of those who respect the commandments of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Get up, for this matter concerns you. We are with you, so be strong and act decisively." So Ezra got up and made the leading priests and Levites and all Israel take an oath to carry out this plan, and they all took a solemn oath. Then Ezra got up from in front of the temple of God and went to the room of Jehohanan, son of Eliashib. While he stayed there, he did not eat food or drink water, for he was in mourning over the infidelity of the exiles. A proclamation was circulated throughout Judah and Jerusalem that all the exiles were to be assembled in Jerusalem. Everyone who did not come within 3 days would thereby forfeit all his property, in keeping with the counsel of the officials and the elders. Furthermore, he himself would be excluded from the assembly of the exiles. All the men of Judah and Benjamin were gathered in Jerusalem within the 3 days. It was in the 9th month, on the 12th day of that month. All the people sat in the square at the temple of God, trembling because of this matter and because of the rains. Then Ezra the priest stood up and said to them, "You have behaved in an unfaithful manner by taking foreign wives. This has contributed to the guilt of Israel. Now give praise to the God of your fathers, and do his will. Separate yourselves from the local residents and from these foreign wives." All the assembly replied in a loud voice, "We will do just as you have said. However, the people are numerous and it is the rainy season. We are unable to stand here outside. Furthermore, this business cannot be resolved in a day or two, for we have sinned greatly in this matter. Let our leaders take steps on behalf of all the assembly. Let all those in our towns who have married foreign women come at an appointed time, and with them the elders of each town and its judges, until the hot anger of our God is turned away from us in this matter." Only Jonathan, son of Asahel, and Jaziah, son of Tikvah, was against this, assisted by Meshullam and Shabbethai the Levite. So the exiles proceeded accordingly. Ezra the priest separated out by name men who were leaders in their family groups. They sat down to consider this matter on the first day of the 10th month. And on the first day of the first month, they finished considering all the men who had married foreign wives. It was determined that from the descendants of the priests, the following had taken foreign wives: from the descendants of Jeshua, son of Jozadak, and his brothers Messiah, Eleazar, Jerib, and Gedaliah. They gave their word to send away their wives. Their guilt offering was a ram from the flock of their guilt. From the descendants of Emel, Hanan, and Zebadiah. From the descendants of Harim, Messiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah. From the descendants of Pashha, Elienai, Messiah, Ishmael, Nathanael, Jozabad, and Elasa. From the Levites, Jozabad, Shimei, Kelea, also known as Kelita, Pethahiah, Judah, and Eliezer. From the singers, Eliashib. From the gatekeepers, Shalom, Telem, and Uri. From the Israelites, from the descendants of Parosh, Ramiel, Isaiah, Melchijah, Mijamin, Eliezer, Milkijah, and Benaiah. From the descendants of Elam, Metaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Elijah. From the descendants of Zatu, Elionai, Elishashib, Metaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Aziza. From the descendants of Bebai, Jehonan, Jehonaniah, Zabai, and Athlai. From the descendants of Bani, Meshullam, Maluch, Edea, Jeshub, Shael, and Jeremoth. From the descendants of Pahath Moab, Adna, Kelal, Benaiah, Messiah, Metaniah, Bazalel, Binui, and Manasseh. From the descendants of Harim, Eliezer, Ishjah, Malkijah, Shemaiah, Shimeon, Benjamin, Maluch, and Shemariah. From the descendants of Hashum, Metenai, Meteta, Zabad, Eliphelet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimei. From the descendants of Bani, Madai, Amram, Oel, Benaiah, Bedea, Kaluhi, Vanea, Meremoth, Eliashib, Metaniah, Matenai, and Jasu. From the descendants of Binui, Shimei, Shelemiel, Nathan, Adea, Mechadebai, Shashai, Sherai, Azarel, Shelemiah, Shemariah, Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph. From the descendants of Nebo, Jael, Matithia, Zabad, Zebina, Jadai, Joel, and Benaiah. All these had taken foreign wives, and some of them also had children by these women. We've come to the end of the book of Ezra. Next time we're going to be starting the book of Nehemiah. I'll see you then.